Previously on Solve the World.
What are you telling me? To be on the lookout for Transformers? No, I'm telling you that someone, and I don't know who, but someone, Jennifer calling, let Najjar out. Someone let out a very unstable man before he was fixed, and I believe someone sent him to Magical Kingdom that day. I think that someone knew exactly what they were doing. You're saying Najjar was sent to take out my giraffe. I'm saying he was sicked on you, like a dog. Solve the World. A fictional adventure told in 100 episodes.
I lose, you lose. That's how this works.
Episode 75. Echoes Before Battle. Jen and Atticus. I can't find her. She has to be somewhere. She's not. She has to be. She must have been shipped out. I refuse to believe that. I gotta go out. Where? Wherever she is. How? Walk, I guess. Atticus, you'll die in the cold. The longer we stay here, the longer she's waiting alone. At least wait until morning. I'll keep searching until then. Okay, till morning. Random child at Onmo with other random child at Onmo.
I'm so cold.
Here.
Thank you. What's gonna happen?
Constable Marshall's going to get the heat going again.
No, I mean, what the old constable said on the intercom. Are things coming to get us?
There's no monsters out there.
But what if there are?
Well, I guess... How do we know the monsters are bad?
Are the monsters good?
Yeah, I think so. Constable Marshall and former Constable Merkel. I can't trust you.
Tragedy slipped from my heart, 'cause I'd like to try to make a new start, with light in the morning and love in the dark.
I can't trust you.
Sadness,
Doesn't matter. It matters. We don't have time for this. The children listen to you now. You have to lead them. What if I think you're lying? You understand what my aims were, yes? I wouldn't pretend to know. Marshall, we're natural enemies, you and me. Arch rivals, maybe. But there are times when even enemies work together. Think of it like the Soviet Union teaming up with the Allies to fight Nazis. You're saying I'm Stalin? I'm saying what's coming is the Third Reich all over again. Whatever's coming, if you're against it, Constable, I'm for it. You don't know what you're saying. This isn't a battle of men. This is a battle of gods. There are things in this world beyond what you know, Marshal Winston. Try me. You and I were fighting on opposite sides of a very long war. What sort of war? A war for the souls of mankind. That's gibberish. You know life doesn't end at death. I don't know that. You do. You have to. Who sent you here? No one. I came on my own. We don't have time for this. Who sent you, Marshal? No one. I wanted to help the orphans. This missing finger of yours? That doesn't happen to regular people. Who took it? I lost it in a tractor accident. Ah, you're a farmer now. No. My dad was. You're an unworthy nemesis. You want to save these children, do you not? I'm not telling you what I want. You want to save these children? Right now? So do I. You were using the orphans like Holocaust victims, pitting them against each other and slowly butchering them out of existence. There's no reason for me to believe that it just so happens that once you got yourself banished from here, you happened across the vast right-wing conspiracy, and we all need to just do whatever you suddenly decided. No. Excuse me. I may not be the brightest lamp at the lamp store, but I'm just not that dim or gullible. You think you're working for Miles Fa, don't you? I don't know. But if he's against you, so am I. He's playing you, just like he played me. You don't know the first thing about it. There are things below the surface of this earth, things above the sky. If you could only see them, they are bigger and more powerful than either of us can imagine. We're flies to them, mosquitoes at best. Little, annoying things. They can kill us by sneezing. One swat of their hand and everything we believe in, everything we've worked for, all of humanity, all of human history. Poof. It's gone. They don't care about us. Those are the ones you're fighting against. I didn't think so. I'm fighting against the soul sucker, the one who collects identities like baseball cards, the one you work for. I don't work for anyone like that. You're the one fighting for the child napper, the fiddler. Yes, now you see. We are natural enemies. Think of it. I want Onmo to fail. You want it to go on and on and on and on. When you organized the rebellion, you won. You kicked me out. So why would I come back here, tell everyone to defend themselves, if what's coming is merely destruction? It's just Miles, coming to take you out. Yes, it is Miles. But he's... You shouldn't have come here. I don't blame you. Seeing the little ones die is not easy. It takes an extraordinary act of will. More than that, really. There's no triumph of the will. It takes more than that. I had to have my faith enlarged. It's only faith that brings us through the night, Marshal. Only faith. I thought you were a man of science. Science doesn't even begin to get there. I have faith, but it's not the same faith you have. You know what I see when I look out on those little eyes? Those little scurrying eyes? What I see standing up on the rafters, looking down at them, do you know what I see? No. I see little porcelain dolls. Each exquisitely made. Each fundamentally a work of astonishing genius. They are all artworks, from the smallest to the biggest. The children, every one of them counts. I know you don't believe that I feel that way, but I do. Deeply. Problem is, porcelain breaks. And once it breaks, it can never retain its initial beauty. And that is the single greatest tragedy that's ever occurred on the face of this earth in all of human history. It happens 1,000 times a day, 1,000 times a second. That's what I'm fighting against. Don't you see? Once they break, it's all gone. That singular piece of workmanship, every child, every soul, they're like a species entire. There's so many of us, and on the surface we look so similar. So the common person never sees it, never acknowledges the truth. We're all islands entire, each one of us. A planet of our own. Wholly, utterly, truly unique. To shatter that is the greatest tragedy the world's ever known. And it keeps happening. The shattering.
And there were good times and later and the dread of forever, and the heart was a bicycle, love held missing, and an angel called tragedy takes everything. So we followed the heart of the rainbow, and now you'll see me trying to say goodbye.
That's for room, you murderer.
Goodbye.
Random child at Onmo with other random child at Onmo.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Please. Go to sleep. Good, Tommy. Sleep now.
This is Constable Marshall. We have two urgent needs. No sugarcoating. If we don't find solutions to these questions soon, we won't make it. Thermostats now read across the facility a dramatic drop in temperature. We can't sustain this. If we can't get the heaters buzzing soon, it'll get too cold. Ice will build up, and we get past the point of no return. I've elected two adults that appeared on site as commissioners of the fire pits. In every third room, we're going to build a fire pit. If you see the adults, named Atticus and Jessica, Jess for short, do as they say. Do not hurt them. Do not try to touch them. They are not the enemy. They are working for us. Secondly, perimeter rooms, areas that face outward towards the world, need to be reinforced. Push beds, desks, machinery, anything you can get your hands on against the vulnerable wall. The past constable, the one that got us here, is most likely wrong. I don't believe monsters are coming. Nevertheless, we must stay vigilant, just in case. We must protect ourselves against the future. That is the most prudent thing to do, so we shall do it. That constable, the old constable, is now dead. He won't haunt anyone anymore. I killed him. That is all. Go and do as I say.
Jen and Atticus.
Atticus, there you are. I've been searching everywhere for you. You made a deal with him? That Marshall Winston? No. I was going to ask you the same thing. I haven't talked to anyone. Me neither. But, Atticus, there's a train. I sat down with some of the children. They told me that this old constable, the one on the stereo, the radio thing, he was running a crooked system. He made the kids work hard and then voted on who got kicked out. Like Survivor? Yeah, they said 1% of the population got banished on a train north every week. Where does the train go? No one knows. And that train's here? Yeah, it docks right into a room. Can we get it running? I don't know. Jen, what about this campfire thing? I don't know, it's news to me, but this place is getting seriously cold. If it's cold here, and Scout is somewhere north? Don't think like that, Atticus. We don't know anything. She could be at a ski lodge for all we know. We have to get that train running. Yeah, but maybe we should help here too? Scout needs me now. Maybe we could take them with us. Jen, if there's nothing out there, we can't take anyone with us. You stay here. Help out. Fine. I'll go alone. No. Atticus, I'm coming with you. Draw a map from where the train is. Then start building these fires, boarding up the doors, and everything that bad guy said. That Marshall Winston. You know him, don't you? Yeah. He's the skeptic I told you about. From the Druidry. What's his angle? I have no idea.
Quote, Jessica, unquote, and Savannah.
Hey you, what's your name? Savannah? Hi, I'm Jessica. Savannah, I'm in charge of building fireplaces. Do you know where I could find some firewood? I think so. Great. Can you show me where? Sure.
Atticus and Marshall.
I don't think we've properly met. I'm Marshall Winston. Pleasure to meet you. You must be the infamous Atticus Further, the long-lost love of Jennifer Dash.
What were you doing back there? You fed me to those monster kids.
Sorry about that. Look, I'd love to stay and chit-chat, but I'm about to take this train on out of here. I need you and Jen to stay. Keep the kids safe. Do everything I said over the intercom.
No, I'm leaving on this train.
Hate to do this. Found this in the old constable's desk drawer, right next to his scotch. Booze and bullets. What a combo.
My sister's at the other end. I need to find her.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Sorry, bro. Nothing I can do for you. Better luck next time.
You'll have to shoot me. I'm coming.
I don't want to shoot you. See, I used to think this train went nowhere. I thought it was just a death sentence for the loser kids. But then your girlfriend's boyfriend shows up. Tells me he's working both sides. And then he's got some big plan.
Who? What boyfriend?
A shady cat who goes by the name Miles Faw. Oh yeah, by the by, the old constable, the guy who set up this whole big elaborate hell house, he was Jen's bunkmate on the Orion. Guy by the name of Merkel. She knows him well. Turns out, she doesn't keep the best company. Makes me a little wary of you. Of me too, actually. Maybe I should point this thing at myself. Whoa. business. Don't make me keep this thing pointed at you the whole time the train leaves the depot. Get on, scram. Take care of Jen for me. We're all in love with her, aren't we?
My sister. Her name is Scout. Scout further. Bring her back.
Scout. Got it. I will, Atticus. You have my word. I'll bring her back. Oh, and sorry about the whole mob thing.
As Marshall left Onmo, his mind drifted to a far-flung hope. If there was another place, somewhere deeper, somewhere further north, and if this train led the way to that place, if this wasn't a train to nowhere in the middle of winter, then maybe there was room to hope. Hope beyond hope. The further kid might be alive. And more importantly, Rune might be alive. Hope finds a way. As for Atticus, he didn't know what to think. All this way, still no Scout. In her stead, a kaleidoscope of feelings, confusion, and physical damage. Atticus was a mess. His hips screamed at him with every step, every heartbeat. The flesh around his eye socket remained so inflamed as to leave him with only half an eye's worth of vision. And he kept tasting that mercury taste in his mouth, the steely flavor of blood. It seemed to seep into his mouth somehow every time he exhaled. Come to think of it, if he focused, he could feel the cost of every breath. A broken rib? Maybe. Never mind it, though. It was an afterthought to the lightning bolt shots of ravaging pain in his midsection. This pain was Atticus's cross to bear. It wasn't going anywhere. It was here to stay. With him for the duration. As for Merkel, his body lay dead in a private closet. The cold drafts of Onmo would slow down the deterioration process. His body wouldn't start to stink until far after there remained anyone left at Onmo. Merkel's story, in summation, at final note, was to be forever a failure. His is the same fate as Sir Isaac. Slain, even by the same hands. As for Jennifer Dash, she took up the role and position authorized to her by Constable Marshall without a second's hesitation. She was good. She delegated much of the work. Organized pods of children. By dawn, she had over 40 independent fire pits up and running. Flames away. It didn't take her long to figure out Onmo's energy rut either. There were still a few stationary bikes that worked to transmit kinetic energy into usable electricity, so she organized lines of kids to work in quick shifts. No longer than 5 minutes. Made a little game of it, actually. Who could bike the most miles in 5 minutes flat? The motivation gave kids something to work for. The lines stretched through 4 corridors, all the bigger children eager to break the last record. Figuring out the coal plan and how to make digestible food out of the busted Melandrinian machines was another story entirely. Those projects would take more time. But none of that mattered if a siege was awaiting this small northern tribe that Jennifer Dash just inherited. She was Mother Hen, after all, a veritable Wendy in charge not just of the Lost Boys, but of the Indians, the pirates, the mermaids, every single soul surviving the rugged terrain of Neverland. Jen and Atticus. Jen. Hey, Marshall said you knew the last constable. How should I know? I never met him. Merkel. From the Orion? It was Merkel, Jen. What's going on? What do you mean? Everyone you've met, they're all villains. Lilith, Merkel, this Marshall Winston guy, and apparently Miles Fa. Miles isn't bad. Marshall said he came here, tried to hatch a plan, made some sort of deal. How can you be connected to all of this? Everything! Don't yell at me. Your crew somehow met the guy who invented the plague that killed my dad, cut my family apart, made the world go crazy. You were the understudy of the woman who flew into the sky like Superman. You lived with the guy who ran this child ghetto. The guy that just left here is clearly in love with you. How is it that everything points back to you, Jennifer? You even knew this Mrs. Moose person that got us to the Buddhist temple. I still don't understand what happened there. I think I dreamed half of it. Jennifer, you have to know what the cause is of all this. How can you keep being at the center of everything? I don't like your tone. Yeah, well, I don't like the world anymore. Whoop-de-doo. And I used to. I used to enjoy life. I used to be happy. Then I met you. I don't know what you want me to say. I want you to say, Atticus, honey bear. Actually, I'm a witch. They tried to burn me at the stake back in Salem, but I escaped. I want you to say, Atticus, sweetheart, I'm a vampire. I suck blood for a living. Or, Atticus, darling belle, I'm an alien sent from the planet Fart Forest. I want you to say, Atticus, beloved, in all honesty, I'm the devil. I'm Satan incarnate. That's what I want you to say. I'm not. Well, I wish you would. I need answers. So do I. All this wandering you've done, you haven't learned anything, have you? And that's when the ground began to rumble.
Tragedy slipped from my heart, 'cause I'd like to try.
That song you're hearing now, that anthem for Merkel's death by the hands of Marshall Winston, is a song entitled Tragedy by the amazing singer-songwriter Richard McGraw. Please, please, please go purchase Richard McGraw's songs. Everything he's ever made. Go do it. You can find his music at richardmcgraw.bandcamp.com. Right now you can stream his entire new album for free on that website. You can also find his music on iTunes, I think on Amazon as well. He's easy to find, guys. Go download his music. By the way, guess what? You just listened to episode 75 of Solve the World, meaning you are now officially 3/4 of the way done with the entire story. Congratulations. Today's music and sound effects are appropriately attributed on my show notes page at dantestack.com. And guys, speaking of dantestack.com, I've read that roughly 9 out of 10 listeners of podcasts never visit that podcast website. So, then, logically speaking, most likely, if you're listening to my voice right now, you've never been to dantestack.com. How could you do that to me? How could you do that? Come on, man. Or woman. Come on, woman. Come on, other. Come on, people. dantestack.com. Check out the website. Maybe leave a donation tip if you'd like. Alright, see you next week for what begins the final fourth of Solve the World.
Follow the rainbow. Can I follow the heart? And if I follow the rainbow, can I follow the heart? Will I follow the heart? I follow the trying to say goodbye, goodbye.